On Sunday, the International Red Cross says that a hospital was shelled, killing 2 people and injuring 5 others, a hospital that was already overrun with patients. And there's a lot of concern about the medical facilities that are there for civilians. The government saying that civilian casualties are a lot less than what is being reported from these international agencies. But there is a loud call for the protection of civilians. There is a call for international law to be followed. Aid agencies saying that international law is not being followed at this point. The government has pointed out and said that the Tamil Tigers are responsible for using civilians as human shields, using civilians as hostages, but both sides have been called to really make sure and ensure that civilians can leave the area that right now is really a smaller and smaller area where civilians are being pushed, and they're simply caught in the crossfire. It is not only the Red Cross, UN agencies are also saying the same thing. These civilians are in dire straits at this point. They don't have enough food. They are not being given enough medical facilities. They don't have enough to really survive all this, and still in the middle of basically a combat zone that they cannot leave. So right now we're joined by Sarah Crow. She is with UNICEF, the Chief Communication Officer for UNICEF of South Asia. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us this morning. Can you tell me right now what the situation is on the ground for civilians in northern Sri Lanka?
Well, as you said, we're hugely concerned that this is now an area that the children are caught in a conflict, in the crossfire, in a completely nightmarish situation for them. Our bottom line is there are no terrorists, there are only terrorists. There are children who are completely surrounded by fighting. They're in a terrible situation. There's no such thing as rebel children or terrorist children. They're just children. They need help. We need to get increased access to this situation, to this area. It's a tiny area, less than the size of London.
Yeah.
We're not getting access. The media's not getting access. And as a result, there's a lot of speculation going on. We need open access. These children, the families need to be protected, and they need to get out fast.
How dangerous is it for organizations like yours, UNICEF, also the International Red Cross, who are in the area now? How difficult is it for you to do your jobs to help the civilians?
We're not getting in as often as we need to get in. We're getting in perhaps every few days. We have another convoy going in hopefully this week. We had one that took out some 50 children on Thursday, and their wounds showed that they were affected by the shrapnel. They were injured in the crossfire. So there's clear evidence that children are being caught in this nightmarish situation. We're not able to go in because we simply don't have access. Yes, it's dangerous, but our primary function is to get the civilian population out, to allow them to move freely.
Is it the government that's not giving access, or what is happening there?
It's both sides. We don't have access on the one side. The LTT is saying that they're holding back families and civilians. So we understand there's the rumors of war and speculation are not helping the situation at all.
Okay, thank you so much, Sarah Crow from UNICEF. And you heard her mention that the media has also not been allowed into many of these areas and not been allowed the independent media to work freely to see what is happening. So there is a lot of conjecture, a lot of video that's coming out. The people are basically having fights over whether the video is happening now, whether the video is from Tamil Tiger separatists trying to embarrass the government. So a lot of confusion, but certainly there is no confusion about what international organizations are saying, that these civilians are in dire straits, they're in danger, and they need help.